What this video is about on my law of attraction tangent of videos that I'm currently working on and releasing, this one is 3 things that if you're doing them will keep your manifestations out. So stay with me right here because these 3 things that will be keeping your manifestations out are coming right up. Number 3 is talking about things as it is if the way things are as they are in contradiction to the thing that you want, or the way of life that you want, or the way you want to experience life or yourself within your life. If you want something at all, regardless of what it is that you want, whether it's that you want to be a different way, you want to feel a different way, or you want a different life experience, or you want a particular thing. If you are talking about other things within your life that are as they are, they're in contradiction of you having that thing or that experience of yourself or life the way that you want it, then you are in essence, in a way, even though it may not be a direct way, it is still contradicting that thing being in your experience. Because if that thing were in your experience, you wouldn't be having that conversation. So the fact that you're having that conversation is alluding to the fact that you don't have it. And now that's the primary, predominant vibe about that you're emitting, is that it doesn't exist. And so it will continue to not exist. Because even if you imagine that it does exist for your minute, or your 57 seconds, or your 60 whatever seconds, or your 20 minutes, or your half hour, or whatever you're doing, and even if you think that you're feeling pretty good most of the time, which you probably have some cleanup work to do there and don't realize it, ask me how I know. If you're doing those things, then what you're doing is that you're predominantly putting out that you actually don't have that thing that you might have spent all of 5 minutes imagining that you have. Now, even if you spent a half hour, like in a meditation, visual type meditation, imagining that you have that thing, or that you are that way, or that your life is like that, that's still such a small portion of time in comparison to the rest of what you're doing. If what you're doing the majority of the rest of your 23 and a half hours a day is singing the tune along the lines through your conversation or your thoughts or whatever, that it's not there. So watch your conversations, because if your conversations about what is, either in your own thoughts or with anyone else, is a contradiction to what you want to experience actually being in your existence, then chances are, my friend, you're doing a better job of keeping it out than you are allowing it in. So watch what it is you're talking about. Point number 2, you're looking for your stuff. You're looking for your manifestation. You're looking for your life to look like what you want to experience, and you keep comparing how you actually feel with what it is you want to experience yourself to be. You keep looking at how you are, how you have been, and making that more of a predominant recognition in your focus than you are doing a good job of imagining yourself as you want to be, as you want to be it more of the time. You've got to keep impressing over and over and over what you want. You have to see it as if it's so. You have to feel it as if it's so. And especially if it's a change you want to make within yourself, you have to be able to go against every time you have a glimmer of recognition, a glimmer of a feeling or a thought that kind of makes you present, that it's really the way it's always been and that's what you want to change. You can't get sucked down by that and let yourself go into another tirade of like, oh, am I ever going to be this? When is this going to happen? When am I going to be like that? When is my life going to look like that? When is this thing going to come up or come to be? Where is my thing? Where is it? I keep doing this imagination, but when is it going to come? If you keep doing that, which we'll just call it looking for my stuff, again, you wouldn't be doing that if it was already here. So you're, in essence, acknowledging the absence of it more than you are imagining the fulfillment of it. You have to be better at imagining more of the time, of feeling more of the time that it is already so. It's already what you are. It's already what you have. It's already what your life looks like. And every time there's anything, whether it's interiorly or exteriorly, that reminds you that it's not that yet, you have to just not let yourself think. Don't let yourself think into those downward thinking thoughts, those spirals. Don't go there. Just represent yourself and reform your imagination and press that out upon all that is, all that you are, all that is. See it over and over and over, and do a better job of it every time something or a thought within yourself or an emotion within yourself or an exterior situation outside of yourself reminds you of its absence. Then switch it and press out the feeling place, the visualization, the experiential place of its existence and it being so right now. Keep doing that over and over and over instead of falling into looking for where is it at, wondering where it's at. Because every time you do that, you're basically putting out there, I don't have it yet. And the universe, the mirror, can only reflect back to you the essence of what you really are. So you can't spend 5 minutes pretending this reality and the rest of 24 hours basically experiencing that it doesn't exist and wondering where it is and think it's really going to exist and come into be. Does this make sense to you? The mirror reflects to you what you are most of your time. You don't have to be perfect, but the more you clean this up, the more your experiences will start to improve. I promise you that. Ask me how I know. Point number 1, complaining about things. It pretty much doesn't matter what. But if you're complaining, and if you complain more than you don't, and most people do, and if you don't think you're one of them, please check in with yourself to be sure, because most people really do. And it's really easy to hear someone say something like that, like you're hearing now, and have your mind go like, oh, that's not me. And you just believe it and buy into it because that thought came into your mind. That's like probably not even really your thought. You think it's your thought, but there's a whole bunch of things about thoughts that like they're not always your thoughts, okay? And even if it is your thought, consider that it's a generated thought that pops up habitually from conditioning that we've all undergone in our growing up years. Or I'll just say most of us have anyway. So you can say that it's not you all you want, but what I invite you to do, my friend, is just observe yourself. Observe your thoughts. Every time you catch that you've been thinking and you realize, oh, I've been thinking, what was it? What kind of thought was it? What was being said? What are you speaking? What are you talking about to your friends, to your coworkers, to your classmates, to your peers, to your family members? What are the conversations? Because again, most people are talking crap. Most people are talking about this person did that, and oh, can you believe that? Oh, and this happened. Oh, and doesn't this suck? And oh my God, like I don't have enough money, and like, oh, and this guy was so awful, and my boyfriend did this, and my girlfriend did that, and oh my God, and that happened. Like, can you believe that? Do you feel the vibe? That's the vibe that underlies most people's conversations. And we wonder why law of attraction isn't looking like it's working. Oh, but it is working. That's just the thing. We're attracting in moment by moment everything. Everything we're experiencing is a generation of our own. It's just that it keeps looking really similar for most people, and it can be hard to break out of until we understand what this conditioning has been running in the background. So please take a look at these. If your manifestations just haven't been working out for you the way that you want, and I'm guessing they haven't, or you wouldn't be watching videos like this most likely, then consider really observing what your mental spaces are like whenever you catch yourself in thought, and start to really observe what conversations you are having and what conversations people are having with you. And just watch, not from a place of judgment. Don't make yourself wrong. Don't make them wrong. Nobody's bad. It's not a bad thing. It's just what people have been doing. If we want to change our exterior circumstances, we have to start changing the interior conversations, all of them. The exterior ones we have with people, the interior ones that are running on autopilot within ourselves. When we're willing to do that and take some effort and catch ourselves and catch ourselves and catch ourselves and stop it and reframe it again and again and again and again, it will in time, I promise you, become a habit. You won't have to work at it like this for very long. It will take on a life of its own in another direction. We just have to be willing to put in a little effort to begin with, to morph it into something else until we've had enough practice with it that it becomes a new habit. Once we do that, everything outside of us will start to shift. It will start to get better and better. But more importantly, we're already shifting inside for the better. And that's really what we want those things for, is that we want to feel good. But we can feel good already before we ever have those things by taking on these areas and making shifts within them. You will start to feel good and better inside of yourself if you will do these things. It worked that way for me. It works this way, I promise you. And after you put in a little bit of effort, it will have a momentum of its own. It will take on its own life, and you won't have to watch it so closely. Your new low points will never be as low as what your old points of lowness ever were. And that is a beautiful thing, because that's what people really want, is just to feel good inside. So, thank you for joining me here. If you liked anything here, please consider subscribing and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below. I don't check messages down there on a daily basis, but I do get to them, at least at this point in time. Now, maybe once I have hundreds of videos or dozens or whatever, I may not be able to keep up with comments ongoingly under all of them. But right now, I certainly have time, so please feel free. Go ahead and put that. I do get to them as soon as I possibly can, and I love interacting with you. So I look forward to seeing you again here soon. Peace, my friends.